It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. To see what is right and not do it is the want of courage. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Virtue alone is not enough. One must also act with it. A man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Only the wisest and the stupidest of men never change. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. He who excels in study can follow an official career. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the three universally recognized moral qualities of men. Study the past if you would define the future. Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. To be able to practice 5 things everywhere under heaven constitutes perfect virtue: gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. When anger rises, think of the consequences. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Recompense injury with justice, and recompense kindness with kindness. A youth, when at home, should be filial, and abroad, respectful to his elders. The faults of a superior man are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them. They change, and everyone looks up to them. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. If your desire is for good, the people will be good. When a wise man points at the moon, the fool looks at the finger. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. You cannot open a book without learning something. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. Those who cannot forgive others break the bridge over which they themselves must pass. A man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his door. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon and star. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterward speaks according to his action. The hardest thing of all is to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if there is no cat. He who wishes to secure the good of others has already secured his own. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. Learning without thinking is useless. Thinking without learning is dangerous. Be not ashamed of mistakes and thus make them crimes. To govern is to rectify. If you lead the people with correctness, who will dare not to be correct? The superior man is easy to serve, but difficult to please. The noble-minded are calm and steady. The petty-minded are always full of anxiety. The superior man is dignified, but not proud. The inferior man is proud, but not dignified. When a man's knowledge is sufficient to attain, and his virtue is not sufficient to hold, whatever he may have gained, he will lose again. Virtue is the root, wealth is the result. The superior man seeks what is right, the inferior one what is profitable. He who cannot describe the problem will never find the solution. Wisdom is to know what you know and to know what you do not know. To lead uninstructed people to war is to throw them away. Do not worry if others do not recognize your merits. Worry that you may not recognize theirs. The superior man does not promote a man because of what he says, nor does he reject speech because of the man who says it. The object of the superior man is truth. He who acts with a constant view to his own advantage will be much murmured against. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The superior man is firm in the right way and not merely firm. A person should not be too honest. Straight trees are cut first. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. If you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none. Isn't it a pleasure to study and practice what you have learned? If you look into your own heart and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance. You are what you think. The faults of others are easier to see than our own. Even a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand. The gentleman cherishes virtue, the small man cherishes possessions. Do not concern yourself with matters beyond your control. The more you know yourself, the more you forgive yourself. Only after the student is ready, the teacher appears. The path may be long, but do not fear the journey. A fool despises good counsel, but a wise man takes it to heart. To rank the effort above the result is a true understanding of virtue. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. No matter how busy you may think you are, you must find time for reading. Without knowing the force of words, it is impossible to know more. When words lose their meaning, people lose their freedom. A gentleman helps others to realize their good qualities, not their bad ones. The way out is through the door. Why is it that no one will use this method? The noble man seeks harmony, not conformity. The petty man seeks conformity, not harmony. Repetition is the mother of learning. Fine words and an insinuating appearance are seldom associated with true virtue. We take greater pains to persuade others we are happy than in trying to be so. A teacher is someone who brings us to life. Think no vice so small that you may commit it, and no virtue so small that you may overlook it. Do not let your past determine your future. Patience is power. With time and patience, the mulberry leaf becomes silk. True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born for love. It is the principle of existence and its only end.